Hey, welcome back to another edition of the Heart and Soul in Sports. With yours truly, the train is back in effect. We're gonna dive into some of these college football games. I know we've been off about a week or two, but guess what? We back in full effect now. Next week we're gonna have some hosts. We're gonna have some guests on next week, and it's gonna be some comedians. It's normally is, but right now let's get into some of these football games. I'm not gonna go over all of them, just some of the ones that need to be highlighted. And I'm gonna be the first one to say this: Clemson is done. They're done. There's nothing else at this point that signifies that Clemson is going to do anything. Their time has passed. They're finished. Miami beat them 28-20 in overtime. Miami should have never won that game. When I turned the game off, and I went somewhere and came back. I'm like, are you serious? 2 overtimes. You never should have went to the first overtime. My God. Dabo, what's the hell going on, Dabo? You struggling now, ain't you? You know what? It's one thing when you on top. But guess what happened being on top? People start gunning for you. So everybody who you play now is coming to give you their best every single week. And you're seeing it now. Everybody talk about Alabama being on top. Man, it's hard to be on top all the time because everybody's shooting for you. They're coming at you with both guns blazing. Either way, that was a laughable because I'm like, there's no way they should have won that game. Not Miami. Not how Miami was playing, they should have won. But let's not stay stuck on that. Michigan beat Michigan State, which it was 49-0. I don't think there's nothing that Michigan State can get from this game. The only thing you can get from this game is basically how to take an ass whooping. That's all you can get. There's nothing else to buy. There's no reason for you to watch this tape ever again. I will burn this tape and act like the game didn't exist because you're not going to learn anything from that ass whooping. Zero what you're going to learn from that. So let's not, I would say let me go over some highlights, but it would be only one-sided, so it's really no point in even dealing with that. Michigan just beat the hell out of them. Unfortunately, that's how it went. I don't know what's going on with TCU at this point. After Georgia beat them in the championship game, they ain't recovered. Colorado beat you, and now the Kansas State beat you 41-3. You wasn't even in the game. That was no part of this game you was in at any point in time. You was never in this game. You was out of the game. What happened? The committee was so adamant about putting y'all in that they figured out a way to put y'all in. And I still say this to this day. TCU was not one of the 4 best teams. No, they weren't. Alabama should have been in that 4th spot, but they didn't want Alabama in there. That's why they kept them on the outside. But it's funny that the committee wanted y'all in there so bad, and you got into the championship game and got drugged. They were handing out championship shirts in the first quarter. That you know y'all was no threat. The committee screwed up. And then they lost, but they never dropped. You know, so you get rewarded for losing now. That's how it works. And now we're seeing TCU true colors. They are garbage. And that's not taking anything from Colorado. Colorado beat them. But we see now TCU cannot compete with a team equal to them or above them. They don't even compete with these teams. I'm expecting the head coach of TCU to be fired at any point. After that debacle, I'm assuming they're gonna get fired. But either way, they got beat 41-3. Auburn. Ole Miss beat y'all 28-21. And the game really wasn't that close. Y'all scored a garbage touchdown at the end. But beyond that, y'all get nothing. Y'all don't have a quarterback. You don't have pass rushes. Your quarterback is he thrives in RPOs, which if you don't know is run pass option. That's all a RPO is. They thrive in that. He's not a drop back quarterback. He can't drop back and pass. He's not that. Your defense is slacking. The secondary is pretty much garbage. The linebackers, you can't blame them when the front four won't block for you. Hey, I'm telling the truth on it. That's all I can tell the truth. The front four will not block. So that was nothing about this game that y'all was going to win in. No, nothing. No part, zero zilch. You lost 28-21. And once again, it wasn't this close. You scored a garbage touchdown in the fourth quarter with 30, 40 seconds left in the game. Yeah, your game was over with at that point. So there's no point in staying on that game long. Let's get some of these what they call struggle wins. And I'm curious to see something this week that I didn't see. The Texas Longhorns, which is ranked, who cares? Struggle with Houston Cougars. You know what pisses me off? Alabama struggled with a team they don't supposed to struggle with. They dropped them 2 to 3 spots. Texas struggled with a team they don't supposed to struggle with, and you don't move them. So how does that work? Is Alabama the only team that can't struggle? Because if they struggle, you drop them. Or is it an SEC team like that? Is it the SEC? Y'all tired of the SEC? So you only drop Alabama when they struggle, but any other team that struggles, you don't drop them. Ain't no way you're gonna tell me Houston should have competed with Texas. That's no way you're gonna make me believe that. It is a bold-faced lie. But you didn't drop them in the ranking. You kept them right where they was at. That's BS. Y'all know it's BS. I know it's BS. And the AP poll, whoever vote on it, the coaches, y'all know it's BS. You beat them 31-24. And you were favored in this game by a lot more than 7 points. But you managed to still not drop in the poll. It's mind-boggling. I think they're tired of the SEC being in it. So any little blemish the SEC get, they drop, but every other team doesn't move. That's the way I look at it. And I'm pretty sure that's how it's going. Okay, let's get into some more games. Let's get into the Crimson Tide in Tennessee. You know, Alabama amuses me, and I'm going to tell you why they amuse me. They ain't going to play for 30 minutes in each game. Makes no difference. In Arkansas, they played the first half, then played the second half. Tennessee, they wouldn't play the first half, play the second half. You know, I would love to see y'all put a full 60 minutes together and just see how that works. You still beat Tennessee. You beat them 34-20. Because the second half, figured out how to play. I don't know. But one adjustment that Nick Saban made, and I assume he made it, could be the defense coordinator, I don't know which one made this. But one adjustment they made that I like, you got away from that 3-4 garbage defense. That 3-4 hybrid defense is garbage. You went to a 4-3 to get a better pass rush. You should have been in a 4-3. You know you don't have that big nose tackle that can smother the center and the left tackle, the center, and the right guard up. You know you don't have it. So why even put your defense in that position? You changed to a 4-3 defense. 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers. Guess what you did? You started getting pressure on the quarterback. Imagine that. That means your secondary ain't got to cover all day because they're not that good anyway. Guess what happened? Tennessee didn't score a point in the second half. Wow. How about y'all stay in a 4-3 defense? How about that? Let's see how that works out. You don't have a big nose tackle where you can go nose tackle and 2 DTs on both sides. You don't have that. You don't have a dominant pass rusher. So how about let's just stay in the 4-3 defense, go at them, keep those linemen off those linebackers, let the linebackers scrape. All y'all know scrape, let them flow. let them go and attack. But if you got 3 down linemen, they get past them, they're going to knock the linebackers out the way, and that's when your running game get exposed. They just push you out the way and run the ball down your throat. But when you got 4 down linemen, you got two defensive ends, 2 defensive tackles. Boy, you can do some damage, can't you? That 3-4 defense don't work. That's outdated. And I'm glad at some point somebody told them, hey, how about let's go to a 4-3 defense. Let's get out of this 3-4 because we don't have the nose tackle for that. And amazed, wow, y'all truly dominated in that second half. If y'all could put a complete game together, y'all would be outstanding. Y'all would be outstanding. If y'all could just do that. Don't seem to want to do that though. Look, you got to quit playing half of a game because sooner or later that's going to catch up with you. How about let's just put 60 minutes together like Nick Saban be preaching, and then let's see what happens. I think you'll come out a lot better than you do with the 30 minutes together. But we ain't gonna stay on that game. Alabama beat Tennessee 34-20. That was just revenge from last year up there in Knoxville. LSU beat Army. You know, a friend of mine said Alabama had a tougher schedule. They said LSU had a tougher schedule. Where? I don't see it. You playing Army? Or you gonna play Navy next? You got Alabama next after the bye weekend. So you beat Army or Navy. I don't really know which one it is. It doesn't even matter at this point. Because it wasn't a game anyway. That was y'all homecoming or something? Had to be a homecoming. I don't want another LSU fan tell me they had a harder schedule. Not with the schedule I've seen. Y'all schedule wasn't that hard. Let's get into somebody else that struggled, a high-ranking team that struggled. I know Oklahoma struggled with UCF. Why are they not dropping? You beat them by 2 points. A team that you probably were favored by 20-some points. But yet and still, you didn't drop in the poll. So I'm going to have to go back to the same thing. Does the poll only apply to Alabama or the SEC? It does not apply to everybody else, evidently. But then you're going to say, well, that was a tough win. We went to Florida with some backup quarterbacks and barely won, and you dropped us. Oklahoma had their whole arsenal, and you got by UCF by 2 points, and you didn't drop them? Why? Can you please explain this foolishness to me? Because I am baffled by it. I have no clue why they don't drop anybody else but the SEC team, especially Alabama. 29-31, and you still ranked in the same place you were when you came in the game. How does that work? We see you showing biasness. You're showing that, you're demonstrating that with perfection. So we see that. My question is, why? Penn State got beat by Ohio State, and Ohio State has not looked like Ohio State. Yeah, you beat Penn State 27-12, but you're going to say Penn State played number 3 team in the country. Okay, I give you that. Ohio State ain't playing like number 3 team in the country, but they're struggling. And if they ever get a team that's got an offense, they're going to get beat. But Ohio State and Michigan is the one I'm going to eliminate the other one at some point. So all Alabama got to do is keep on winning, and you'll definitely have an opportunity. LSU keep on winning. If they keep playing teams like Army and Navy, they should be undefeated at this point. They got to come to Tuscaloosa in about 2 weeks. We'll find out how they are then. Another team that has fallen out of grace is Washington. Washington struggled to be the number 5 team in the country. Washington struggled hard. But guess what? They still ain't dropping the polls. Huh? So you see, it's a pattern with this. Alabama struggles, dropping the poll. SEC team struggle, dropping the poll. Other teams struggle, that team came to play that day. They are so biased, it's ridiculous. And they know it. Probably they ain't try to figure out a way to get Clemson up there. Washington was ranked number 7, I think, and you played the Sun Devils, you beat them 7-15, and they said, well, they escaped. You played like trash, and you didn't drop. I don't quite understand this. I really don't understand this. Are y'all trying to? Georgia better not struggle with anybody they ain't supposed to. They're gonna come right out number 1 ranking. If they lose, my God, ain't no telling where they're gonna drop at. Because they're an SEC team, so they don't want the SEC in there anyway. So it's easy to figure out a way to get them to drop in the polls. Because that's just how they is. That's how they is. It's disgraceful, really, you don't know the truth about it. Because it's one thing to do it, but it's one thing to show it blatantly, time and time again. They don't seem to have a problem with it, though. So here's what it is, as they say. All right, well, we done ran over. Y'all have to excuse me. I had a long night last night watching trying to watch these games. Let's go over some of these NFL games. And there's a few of them I'm going to tell you I told you so. I'm going to say I told you so. Don't even worry about it. I told you so, it's coming. The first I told you so is Buffalo. Told y'all over and over. Do not trust Josh Allen. Can't trust him. Interception. Fumble. Can't trust Josh Allen, I'm telling y'all. Because Josh Allen will let you down when it counts the most. He does it every single time. And it's not even, at this point, it's just downright predictable. And everybody want to talk about Kansas City. Kansas City is playing like trash. You just beat a mediocre team. You beat Chargers last night because Hubert is garbage. They always try to make these guys to be better than they are and they're not. Hubert is trash. The Chargers wasted a pick on him. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but they just wasted a pick on him. Jacksonville is playing good ball, actually. You know, they beat the Saints 31-24. I know it ain't Saints. And Derek Carr is pathetic. You gotta look at Derek Carr. You can't yell at nobody pitiful as you are. You're downright pitiful. Don't yell at nobody ever again. That's really nothing else. Trevor Lawrence. He played pretty good. He was efficient. But the Saints are garbage. I'm not going to give you a lot of credit on the Saints. Saints are not that good anyway. The Raiders are worse. You get the Bears beat you 30-12. The Bears should beat nobody. Nobody the Bears should beat. Ever. They should never, ever beat anybody. Man should beat y'all, so that lets you know y'all got it. Now, the Browns and the Colts was a good game, 39-38. Browns blocked a kick. Defense stood tall. For the Browns to be 4-2, I didn't see that coming. I'm just gonna manage this. Deshaun Watson got hurt in the first quarter. So for them to still come out and win, that was a good win for them. Now the Bills and the Patriots. Patriots beat the Bills 29-25. Josh Allen is trash. I said it a minute ago, I said it again, he's trash. When the game is on the line, when you need to be the team that you should beat. New England Patriots spiraling out of control. You should have beat them. And what did you do? You choked. You did you know what I'm gonna call it? It's called the Josh Allen. That's what it's called. Anytime you choke, it's called Josh Allen because he chokes. He continually chokes. But you know what the surprising part about it? Analysts always try to uplift him and make him look like he's better than he is. Dude is not good, man. You got receivers. You got a decent running back. You got a decent, pretty good defense. But you lose against the Patriots for no reason. What, because you were playing in New England? Come on. You in Buffalo. It's colder there than it is in New England. Patriots gave Belichick his 300 win. That's all I know. Bills are pitiful. The Giants, Taylor did pretty good. 279 yards, 2 touchdowns. Look, the Giants wasted their pick on that quarterback they got. That quarterback is not any good. I'm just going to tell you, he's not good. But they're going to try to make him good. You're going to try to keep giving them chance after chance. The team goes through Barkley. That's who it goes through. It goes through Barkley. They should have gave Saquon Barkley the contract instead of getting that clown, the quarterback, the contract. And guess who's playing now and guess who's not? The one you gave to the contract to plays like trash, and he's not even playing. The one that you didn't get a contract to is still playing. You know, that just tells you a lot about the Giants organization. They are screwed completely up. They backwards. Ass backwards. They're not done anything, right? And you wonder why they ain't won a championship since Eli Manning. That's got a lot to do with it. The dumb decision. The front office, whoever's doing the front office needs to be fired if they the one who picked them. The Buccaneers and the Falcons. Baker Mayfield is average. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say this. He is average. And just because he makes one or two good plays here does not make him a franchise quarterback. He couldn't play in Cleveland. And you go to Tampa and you don't put up eye-dropping numbers. 231 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. You ain't gonna win many games with those numbers. And it ain't all him. It's a collective losing effort. But you still lost to the Falcons. That's all I can say. 16-13. The Lions was on a good streak until they ran against the Baltimore Ravens. And the wheels fell completely off the wagon. Lamar Jackson had a field day. They beat the Lions 6-38. Lamar Jackson 357 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Those are winning numbers. You can beat a lot of teams with those numbers. Detroit had a defense. They were 5-2 or 5-1 when they came in there. But they was lighting it up until then. I don't know what happened after that. They 38-6, and you scored the 6 points in the fourth quarter. Shoot, you scored it in garbage time. You weren't gonna score 38 points to make up the difference. All right, let's keep it moving. The Pittsburgh Steelers look like they get some little traction. They beat the Rams 24-7. I like that. Matthew Stafford 231, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Once again, those are not winning numbers. You're not going to win a lot of games like that. You scored. The Rams ain't did nothing since they won the Super Bowl. After they won the Super Bowl, they really ain't did anything after they had it. They did nothing. Well, either way, the Steelers beat them 24-17. The Steelers look like they getting their act together, and they might be able to make some noise up there. Seattle beat Cardinals 20-10. It makes no difference. Cardinals are 1-6, 0-4 on the road. So, Geno Smith 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not great numbers, not winning numbers, but you played a team that was worse than you were. So you'll take that win and move on. The Packers are pathetic. You can't get beat by the Broncos. But Russell Wilson hasn't done anything. Packers 17, Broncos 19, Russell Wilson 194 yards, 1 touchdown. That is not winning football. You play a better team than that, you lose. And I have no idea. Jordan Love, which is the quarterback for the Packers, why did you throw that last interception in double coverage? What was you thinking about? That's all I can say. What was you thinking about? You don't have Randy Moss. There's no Terrell Owens. There's no Megatron out there that goes up and attacks the ball. So why would you think you can make that work? We done talked about the Kansas City Chiefs and the Chargers, 31-17. Patrick Mahomes had a field day, 424 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. But when you play the Chargers, who are 2 and 4, who you got a quarterback in Herbert, that is purely straight garbage. 259 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 5 sacks for 40 yards. You're not going to beat nobody like that. Period. Herbert is not the quarterback for the Chargers. You can try to make him out the quarterback if you like. He is not the quarterback for the Chargers. So, y'all might as well just find you a new quarterback because Herbert is not it. The Dolphins the high-powered Dolphins going against the Eagles. They're in Philadelphia. Dolphins got beat 17-31. Jalen Hurts, 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. The interception he threw was a horrible interception, but Miami was worse. A.J. Brown dominated that game, 10 catches, 137 yards, 1 touchdown. He's the go-to receiver. Devontae Smith is not available. I really don't know what they were thinking about halftime in this game. Matter of fact, you cannot allow, you hold Devontae Smith in check, but then you let A.J. Brown go off. And you know what, I forgot Julio Jones over there. When he get acclimated into that system, the Eagles are going to have a devastating receiving corps. But you know what? That's how the ball bounces, though. Well, there's another episode of The Heart and Soul in Sports. We'll be back next week. Like I said, we'll have guests on next week. But we're going to end the night with the 49ers and the Vikings. I got the 49ers winning, especially if McCaffrey is back, 49ers winning, because Cousins is nothing but an interception machine. He's going to give you a chance to get a couple of interceptions. 49ers defense as good as they were, if they get that pass rush, they should dominate this game. It's in the Vikings. It really don't matter. It's indoors. That's right up their alley. I got the 49ers 31-7. I just do not see the Vikings putting up any kind of threat against that 49ers defense. But guess what? That's why they call it football. Anything can happen if we can kick the Zebras out of the game. Because my last thing to say is Kansas City had 2 games they should have lost if the officials did not help them. The game against the Jets, you can clearly see the left tackle holding the defensive end for 5 seconds. The head official sitting there looking right at him. Will not throw the flag. That's when Patrick Mahomes took off for that long run. And then they said, well, holding before the pass throw. Well, if it was holding before the pass throw on an interception that the Jets had, if that was holding, why did the side official wait till he intercepted the ball and start running back up to throw the flag? If it was holding, shouldn't the flag have been thrown before the interception? No, they waited to see if the ball was going to get intercepted, because you can look at him on the sideline holding his hand on the flag, and then once he intercepted, he threw it. The Jets should have beat him. The Vikings, as bad as Kirk Cousins was, should have beat. They hit Kirk Cousins in the head on one play that would have tied the game up, which is roughing the passer. Then you holding the receiver, which should have been a holding penalty. 5 yards penalty, first automatic first down. Then the safety or the cornerback takes his helmet off in the end zone, which is a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct. And all the officials did was tell him to put his helmet back on. So you telling me they ain't trying to help Kansas City? Bull crap. They got too much evidence. Like the young people say, there's receipts that prove they're trying to help Kansas City. I'm only speaking what's there. But I'm not a Kansas City fan. I don't have any NFL team. So that's why I'm biased. I call it like I see it. The officials have been helping Kansas City throughout the season because they want Patrick Mahomes to be the golden poster boy. He want to be the golden child. Patrick Mahomes is average. Tyreek Hill made him look good. Last year in the Super Bowl, if the Philadelphia Eagles had any defense whatsoever, they would have beat him. And they shouldn't have threw that pass interference flag on the last play of the game. But you don't want Patrick Mahomes to get up the Super Bowl and come out empty-handed unless it's against Tom Brady, because Tom Brady was the poster child of the NFL. So you don't want that to happen. So you're going to cheat for him now. And the sad part about it, you can't say you didn't do it because everything is on tape. Everybody sees it. We know y'all blatantly are giving them chance after chance after chance. So don't even come out here. Y'all Kansas City fans, don't even come out with that bull crap because everybody know y'all got gifted 2 games. Let's just call it like we see it. But hey, I enjoyed it. These times fly by. Let's see you next week. 2 fingers. And remember, if you ain't got heart and soul, if you don't have heart and soul, you ain't in sports. Peace. See you next week.